The past is your teacher. I know that it's very easy for all of us to look at people around us and compare ourselves to the people around us, especially in terms of as we age and who has more and what kind of lives they're living and things like that. It's very easy to do that, but I'm going to challenge you not to do that, and I'll tell you why. When I say the past is your teacher, what it means is that we're all walking these different paths. We're all walking these different journeys. And because of that, we all have learned different lessons that have given us different ways of looking at life, of different valuable skills that we can use in our lives that other people don't have. And of course, we're all trying to run this rat race and accumulate as much money as we can or whatnot. But some people acquire those money-making skills, whatever, a little bit earlier. And there are some other skills that they don't acquire until later, like maybe interpersonal skills or other skills, social skills like that. And some of us learn the social skills and interpersonal skills earlier, and we accumulate the wealth later. And there's nothing wrong with when or how fast, because this is not a race. The only person you're really racing is who you were yesterday. So I want to make a couple of points about this, okay? So first, your path, your past, that is yours. You should own it. It belongs to you. It has created the person that you are today. And some of the lessons that you've learned have made you a better person, and maybe some of the lessons that you haven't learned maybe leave you lacking, but that makes you a unique individual with unique skills. You should be proud of your past because you aren't who you are now without it. So while I say you should be proud of your past, another thing you should do is, especially if you made mistakes in the past, is don't beat yourself up over your mistakes. We're all making mistakes. We all are. The person that is rich already, the person that already has a happy family already, they've made mistakes. The people who have broken their families, the people that have lost their money, they've made mistakes. But you can't really beat yourself up over your mistakes, because in each mistake is a lesson to be learned. And these unique lessons come to us through experience. And we all are living these independent, separate lives. And so that means that we all have experiences that separate us from the people around us. That's why comparing yourself to other people is faulty. It doesn't work. Some people are starting from different places with different amounts of resource. So if you had your first chance to start a business and it didn't fail, okay, you can take some time and say, I'm worried about that and I wish I had done this. But first of all, you learn some lessons from it. But second, it happens. That's life. Like, success often happens after many failures. So don't beat yourself up over the failures. Remember, this race, there are 7 billion people, 7.5, almost 8 billion people on this planet. We're all walking different lives, living these separate races, okay? All of these races are different. All of us are starting at different starting points. We're all running at different speeds. We're running with different equipment. So when you look at yourself today in your race, just as you look at your maybe coworkers or the people in your world, you have to remember that none of us started from the same place. We don't have the same equipment. We're not running at the same speed. The only thing that we have in common is that we are really competing with who we were the day before. And therein lies the main point of this video. Your race is with who you were yesterday. Your race today is with who you were yesterday, and your race tomorrow is with who you were today, or who you are today. That is the race to run. When you lay your head on the pillow at night, do you say, did I do better today than I did yesterday? Because if that's a yes, there's progress. And just like I mentioned the race, that first step might not be as fast, because just like when you were a baby, your first baby step was not the same as the steps that you take now. And when you learn to run, Those steps were different than the steps that you're taking now. And like, think about even running as a teenager. And this is metaphorical, of course. Think about how you could run as a teenager and you thought that you were fast. And as you got older, you started learning, oh, I can run faster and more efficiently in this equipment. If I eat these nutritional foods, if I run at this time of night, if I run with this equipment. And as you continue learning, you understand you can run the race better. So when you're at step 1000 of the race, that step is different from the first step of the race. And you're running the few steps before the end of the race. Those steps are different from the steps that you took in the middle of the race and at the beginning of the race. Remember, you're running this race in life against yourself, against your abilities, against what your potential is. So if you allow your past to be your teacher, you will continue growing and becoming a better runner because you're learning things from your past. Don't get caught up in the people around you and how they're running their races. Don't do that, okay? Because if you do it that way, you're eventually going to fail and you're going to be disappointed in yourself and you're going to wonder, why couldn't I run this race as fast as anyone else? Look, there are internet millionaires, billionaires in their teens. Teen billionaires, I'm not sure, but teen millionaires, of course there are. I'm in Japan and I could walk down the street 15 minutes and there's a Kentucky Fried Chicken. And invented by a man named Colonel Sanders. I guess that was his first name, Colonel Sanders. But this is a man who basically had tried his enterprises all the way through his 50s and whatnot, and it took him into his 60s to create this business that is a run around the world, where people in this country, Japan, are walking to get fried chicken on Christmas to the point where you have to order it because there are so many people ordering it. Invented by a man who finally reached his success in his 60s. He didn't win his race in his 20s or 30s or 40s or 50s. He won his race in the 60s. So in his 60s. So remember that. No matter how long you run that race, you're running the race against yourself and against who you were yesterday. And you keep running that race correctly, and sooner or later, taking every day to reflect and improve on how you can do better, you're going to get to a point where you didn't believe possibly that you could get to. Let your past be your teacher. Don't feel bad about your past. Don't beat yourself up about the past. Learn the lessons that you need. Take those lessons forward. And if you really want to level up, learn the lessons of the past from other people. And you could take those lessons, combine them on top of the lessons that you have learned, and then you could really level up. Don't beat yourself up over your past. You're not being where you want it to be at a certain age. That's not what the race is about. The race is not about how fast you get there. It's about if you get there, not when you get there. When you get there doesn't matter. Getting there matters. The only way you can get there, look at yesterday, think, contemplate, reevaluate, and today, take it on at a brand new level. Okay? That's all for today, guys, and I'll talk to you later.